Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Joy News Today. I am Emefa Akosia Adeti. The bulletin is live from our studios here in Kokomlemle, Accra. We're also live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 125. Coming up this afternoon, Gold Board extends gold trading license transition deadline to June 21. We'll bring you details of that a bit later as well. And government takes delivery of 450,000 barrels of fuel to help address power generation shortfalls and stabilize electricity supply across the country. We'll speak to the Energy Ministry as well. And AMA deploys national security operatives to cycle Neoplan Station after squatters re-encroached within 24 hours of eviction.
Put 3 permanent security officers here. To ensure daily routine inspection and enforcement here.
And also this afternoon, the ongoing strike by the senior staff unions in public tertiary educational institutions have crippled essential services at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology and the Kumasi Technical University, with offices locked and staff absent. We have these details as well with business and sports. Please stay with us. Joy News, independent, fearless and credible. Thank you for staying with us this afternoon. We'll start with a decongesting exercise. Now, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly has deployed 3 permanent national security operatives to cycle Neoplan bus stop to ensure no return of squatters. This follows the re-encroachment of the squatters less than 24 hours of the massive clampdown on Wednesday. Let's go live on the ground and speak to James. If I have you, you first broke the story about the comeback in the morning. Tell us what has been the situation so far. Well, we'll bring you the live one, but take a look first.
Jackie, watch out. Hello.
Well, I've got my colleague James Aveji on phone now. James, so you first broke the story about the comeback in the morning. Tell us what's the situation. I know that you've also been bringing us the update of the 3 security personnel that have been stationary, but currently, what's the update on the exercise entirely? Hello, James, if you can hear me. Yes.
Currently back at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. Yes, Ebefa, I can hear you telling you that we are currently back here at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly because the exercise has ended with the team we have been following. I must establish that we have a number of teams in various parts of Accra. And so the AMA team we have been following has ended the exercise today. We just returning from the Kaneshie area where on Tuesday, the footbridge at Kaneshie, traders who used to trade on the footbridge have all been sacked from that particular footbridge. And so the team went there to, see to themselves whether the traders have permanently left the place or they are back. And we have found out that the traders have left the place. No one was selling on the footbridge. And so that is where we terminated that side of the exercise this morning. And so for the team I've been following, we have ended the exercise, but as we speak, another team is in the Central Business District also doing some level of reinforcement to check whether traders are in compliance with the directive. Yesterday, they marked a number of pavements on various streets in the Central Business District, talking about Tudu, Mokola, Kantamanto areas. And so that particular team led by the AMA PRO are currently in the Central Business District, checking if the traders are abiding by that. Would also be going there to check on that as well, to know what the updates are. But for today, apart from the comeback and the decongestion of the second new plan bus stop, where the authorities say they are stationing some three national security officers, the exercise at the Circle Enclave and Kaneshi has come to an end for today, which would continue tomorrow as well.
Well, James, so you'd say that in the entire decongesting exercise so far, the place that we've had some challenge is the re-encroachment, which is the Circle Enclave. And as well, yesterday, whilst you were breaking the story, we saw that there were some challenges with electricity cables. Have they made any progress with that as well?
Well, so that is the only place that had a challenge, as you said, we have seen this morning. The cables you saw in that shot were telephone lines which were attached to a pole at one end close to the outdoor drains. Yesterday, a huge container shop was moved at the place. That container shop was under construction. They have put the body and the roofing on, waiting to come and do the interior works, which the AMA says is at a wrong designation. And so that container was dismantled some way and loaded onto a truck and towed away. It was in the process of that towing, loading of the container onto the truck that the pole on which the telephone line was resting got broken, for which reason it was dangling there this morning. The officials have found a way to somehow patch it, push a better part of it onto the bus stop roofing and chalked it with another pole. I'm sure the AMA would have to get in touch with the telephone service provider, whose cable it is, to come and do a permanent fixing. But thankfully, it is not an electric cable which will cause any harm to the public.
James, thanks for that clarity that the cables we saw yesterday are telephone cables, not electricity cables. And so we know that this exercise is going to, we thought it was 3 days, but we're learning that it will also continue till tomorrow. Is this true? And if tomorrow is inclusive, where would you be moving to?
We should get the exact schedule by close of day today or early tomorrow morning. What is interesting is that because they are some way keeping this under the carpet, keeping it like a secret operation, knowing that if the public gets winds of their movement, the traders may evade the places before they get there. And so even for those of us on the team, we are usually informed on the morning of the exercise. And so it is unclear yet where they will be going tomorrow, but by tomorrow morning, we should get some clarity on that as well.
So much, James. James is our man who's been following the decongestion exercise from day one all through till today, and even will bring us more in subsequent bulletins if anything new should happen. But away from that, the Municipal Chief Executive of Korle Klottey Municipal Assembly, Alfred Atto-Klottey Gezi, and the Member of Parliament for Klottey Korle constituency have embarked on a joint tour to assess the municipality's deteriorating infrastructure and evaluate ongoing and stalled projects. My colleague Kenneth JC is with the team and joins me on a phone with more. Kenneth, where are you currently and what can you report?
We are en route to the Osu Night Market, but prior to that, we've been to a number of places. We've been to the Osu Zonal Council Office complex. Really, this exercise aimed.
Kenneth, did I lose you? Unfortunately, I've lost Kenneth. We'll try and reconnect to see what stored projects are there. But Kenneth, let me try once more. Kenneth, can you hear me? And if you can hear me, which outstanding project or which major project is stalled that you can tell us about? We'll try and then reconnect with my colleague Kenneth JC on that story. But moving on, the Ministry of Energy has confirmed the arrival of 450,000 barrels of fuel to support power generation. This follows an earlier revelation by the sector minister that Ghana had less than 3 days' worth of liquid fuel left for its thermal plants. The fresh supply is expected to bring some relief and stabilize power across the country. Head of Communications at the Ministry of Energy and Green Transitions, Richmond Roxon, also joins us live this afternoon. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. And so you've taken delivery, you say, or you are almost taking delivery.
Good afternoon to you. As indicated by the minister last week, parcel of crude, as light crude oil, had been ordered already. We are happy to announce that it's in country and that it's available to power the thermal plants to ensure that Ghanaians continue to enjoy sustainable power at all material times.
You earlier, when the minister shared his concerns about how he's having sleepless nights on a power supply in this country, Car Power had given us some days that we're going to shut down. What does this mean, this barrel that you've taken delivery of? What does it mean in the entire scope of power delivery or power supply in the country now?
On the issue of Car Power, the ministry engaged Car Powership. So even though they threatened to shut down the 18th, that did not happen. A roadmap was agreed between the two parties, that's government and Car Powership, and the parties have committed to ensuring that they would adhere to it. So that didn't happen. On the fuel side, like I mentioned, this will also go a long way to enhance power delivery within the period as Ghanaians have been enjoying.
Can we quantify this period? Is it quantifiable?
The difficulty is that our demand, at the end of the day, what our demand is, will determine how these fuels are used. We don't only use LCO. There are different fuels that we use, there's HFO as well. There's also natural gas. So depending on what our demand is, at the end of the day, will also depend on how much fuel is used. But this should go a long way. And I must state that this is one of the numerous parcels of fuel that government is expected.
Sometime in our conversations earlier this week, I remember that you said that for fuel such as this, we do not make provision for that from the tariff that we already pay for. Is this part of the support the finance minister promised, as your minister was assuring us on Newsnight some days ago? Is this it?
Absolutely. This is as a result of the support from Government of Ghana to the Ministry of Finance. And like the minister rightly said, if you look at the current tariff structure as it is, nobody pays for the fuel that is used. Last year alone, we spent an average of over $1.1 billion to procure liquid fuels for the sector. If the price of fuel is added to the cost structure, definitely will push the price up. That is how come Government of Ghana continuously takes the opportunity or takes the responsibility to provide the fuels. But moving forward is a conversation that we must have. We must look at structural reforms to ensure, because the finance ministry is also challenged. They have their own budgetary constraints and may not be able to consistently provide the funding. So as a country, we need to look at it and then find alternative ways. And that is why the Government of Ghana is putting together the gas processing plant. If you look at the cost of liquefied fuel as compared to natural gas, it's almost half the cost. So if you are spending $1.1 billion on liquid fuels alone. If we're doing natural gas, it would have been half the cost. And because it will be half the cost at the end of the day, it will give us enough savings. As we speak today, that 500 million alone would have been enough to put together a new gas processing plant. And that's what the government is pursuing now. And
so you say that because of the way because of our demand, you're unable to tell how much this can sustain us. But on top of your mind and on top of your head, can it at least sustain us for 3 months?
I didn't get your question.
You say that because of our demand level as a country, we're unable to tell how long this will maintain us or sustain the power supply. But if you just think top of your mind on the face of it, can it last us about 3 months?
It will still depend on the demand.
All right. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Yeah.
Right away from that, the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology and Kumasi Technical University campuses remain quiet as the industrial action of senior staff unions entered day 2 with officers locked and administrative duties abandoned. The strike is affecting critical roles such as lab caretakers, security, hospital workers, and administrative personnel, forcing other university officers reliant on these services to suspend operations. This disruption has created a multifaceted crisis, entangling even non-striking university members.
The offices are open, but you don't see the workers there. Most of them didn't go to work, so you wouldn't get the services that you need. There are some linkages between the offices. If you need something from this office, you'd have to go through the various processes. So if the offices are not working, it means that you wouldn't get to what you actually want to do. I think there will be delay in whatever service you would need the officers to do for you. So we are just hoping that they get back so that things can actually go back to how it used to be, because yesterday and today has not been the same. The place is quieter than yesterday.
Meanwhile, as negotiations to call off the strike remained stalled, the striking staff are being admonished to stay off post.
So I don't know what is happening there. We all moved to Accra, all the executives. I expect to my people to observe our directives. Yes, we are all members, so we all move together.
We'll stay in Kumasi, where residents are living along the banks of the Pelele stream at Decongestion in Kumasi are on high alert after floodwaters crept into homes and businesses' enclaves, putting lives and property at risk. The devastation from Saturday's downpour at a space earmarked for the Kumasi Airport City project is a stark reminder of failed promises by successive governments to construct a large drain system. Residents in the area have taken matters into their own hands to desilt the gutters as the rainy season set in. Emmanuel Bright Koku visited the scene after the floodwaters receded and has filed this report.
On Saturday, homes and shops built along the Pelele stream at Decongestion were inundated, denying residents and traders access to their facilities. Motorists plying the stretch had to battle the heavy water current and wade through the mud after roads were blocked by the floodwaters for several hours. Residents and shop attendants locked by the floodwaters had to seek higher ground to secure goods and protect their lives.
I've
parked my stuff on the fridge and on a higher table. We have nowhere else to go, so we have to endure. When it floods heavily, the water can even carry along the pump stations and some cars.
The
water may have receded, but the heaps of filth the floods carried are not scenes to miss traveling along the stretch. Heavy tree branches, plastics and other solid waste have choked culverts underneath bridges on the major drainage system running through the enclave. Residents living along the waterways have adapted to the floods as they are compelled to erect tall fences to safeguard their homes. But for those who cannot afford them, they must endure the devastation the rains bring. If the water doesn't recede, you have to seek shelter elsewhere. Sometimes when we can't leave, we are compelled to fetch out the water to have a place to sleep. The filth is not the only environmental menace swallowing up the Pelele stream. The only major drain flowing through the community has always been heavily dense with accumulated sand debris.
Do not mistake this as an oasis. This is actually a heap of sand that has gathered over weeks, months, or even years in this particular major drainage system here in the Decongestion enclave. Well, thankfully, they may have had a private individual desilting their gutters for them, but they are requesting that the government also does this regularly to ensure that they do not have their lives hung by the thread whenever the clouds begin to gather.
Every place baby a Friday, a fresh sober cap from in short time and Shafika same coin, can't kokama, Yadani Hokudo, and a dear man for church, and Tia who say, Ebia will be as the baby. We fetch
the sand in the drain for private individuals who wish to build. For years, the residents who live along the stream banked their hopes on successive governments to take drastic measures to halt the floods.
Sa bridge no omuntimi empeja bridge no sesia gata ne de anye bia kasa ba na twa mo no e dey be for a friend drip machine.
If they can't elevate the bridge, they must utilize the drip machine to desilt the gutters.
Onko pipa ho ma o man na omfa nya dwuma ma o man no na o man no enya nkoso
ye kwan ahudo bebre ba gutters bebre de ntimi nye.
As a country, we are able to build roads, but not gutters. The government must do something about this place. Serving as the gateway for international visitors to the Ashanti region, the soon-to-be airport city begs for major infrastructural improvements.
From here at Decongestion in the Ashanti region, my name is Emmanuel Bright-Kwiku.
You're watching Joy News today, and the Municipal Chief Executive of Korle Klottey Municipal Assembly, Alfred Ato Alotegezi, and the Member of Parliament for Korle Klottey constituency have embarked on a joint tour to assess the municipality's deteriorating infrastructure and evaluate ongoing and stalled projects. My colleague Kenneth Jesse is with the team and joins us on phone with more. Kenneth, we'll try again if you can hear me. Where are you currently and what can you report?
We're currently at the Osu Night Market, but prior to that, we've been to a number of places within the municipality, and this exercise focuses on three thematic areas. It focuses on sanitation, stalled and ongoing infrastructural projects in the area, and the aftermath, really, of the flooding that happened recently in the municipality. And the joint team led by the MC and the MP have already been to the Ringway electoral area where the team has assessed deteriorating road infrastructure there. We've also been to the Osu Zonal Council office complex where there's been a lot of stalled projects there where the Member of Parliament and the MC for the area have promised to ensure a continuation of those projects. And then we've also been to the Odona market to assess the recent impact of the flooding and also to evaluate the current condition of the pedestrian shopping area and really monitor the progress on the ongoing Gary project there.
Kenneth, and so you mentioned that the recent flooding at the Odo, I'm sure, may have affected certain parts of it. How much impact is this we're talking about?
Well, the impact really is not as heavy as it has been in other areas like the Adentan municipality, where we heard of reports about 3 people dying. You know, usually when there's flooding, the Odo River is heavily impacted. But looking at recent history, it's not as heavily impacted as it has been in the past. But there's been some impact, though. And then the MP and then the MC have vowed to ensure that this perennial flooding does not recur.
Kenneth, did any stalled project, did any major project that you think is stalled catch your attention?
Pardon me?
Have you seen any major project that has been stalled for a while that caught your attention?
Yes, that is the Osu Zonal Council office complex, which they say has been in the offing for quite a while, which has stalled for a while now, and then they've been assessing the situation really, talking about the fact that there's not continuation of projects, especially when there's a change in government. So that is the major project in the municipality that we've visited so far that appears to have stalled, and then both the MP and the MC have vowed to ensure that it is continued.
What's the next stop?
The next stop is the Osu night market, where we are currently to also assess the situation here. So we are currently at the Osu night market.
Right. Thank you, Kenneth. Trust Kenneth to bring you every other thing that will happen on this tour, this joint tour, in our subsequent bulletins. But I'll take you back to Kumasi, where the Department of Herbal Medicine at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology is exploring industry partnership to reach claims that herbal medicine can cause organ damage. It comes on the back of widespread notion that herbal medication has a negative impact on the human organs, according to the head of department, Professor Isaac Kingsley Amponsa. Though most of the locally manufactured herbal medicines have gone through standardization, the widespread notion could limit industry potentials. Nana Ojima visited the department and has filed his report.
It is estimated that about 60% of Ghanaians use herbal medicine in treatment of diseases. Nonetheless, there is widespread condemnation on the use of herbal medicine, with some persons pointing to claims of organ damage. But head of Herbal Medicine Department at KNUST, Professor Isaac Kingsley Amponsa, has indicated though wrongful use of medication may have negative effect on the human organs, there is no evidence that the right use may cause organ damage.
Yeah, usually if we make a blanket statement that herbal products cause liver and kidney problems, I think we would have to substantiate it with the evidence. The truth of the matter is that there are herbal products that are being prescribed in the hospitals which are standardized and which have gone through a lot of tests to ensure that it is devoid of any component or activity that will affect any of the body organs. And these have been used for more than 30-40 years. And these standardized products are dispensed in the hospitals. And we've not had any issue with it. And so it is much regrettable when we hear such blanket statement.
The university has been conducting research into some herbal products, but establishing a negative impact on human organs will need further studies. Professor Amponsa explains industry will have to support the university for more specific research in the area.
All the research that is done in this faculty is mainly herbal. You can look at the thesis work on it, it's mainly based, plant medicine based. So we do it. Only that specifically, when some people want to know, for example, that this drug, whether it affects the kidney or affect the liver, it is an extensive research. And usually it has to be funded.
As part of partnership between industry and researchers to improve the herbal industry, Midimafo Herbal Hospital has supported the renovation of the Herbal Medicine Department at KNUST. Over 100,000 cedis was spent on the renovation works. Dr. Edu Jemfi is CEO of Midimafo Herbal Hospital. The idea that herbal medicine can cause kidney disease should not be encouraged. My research has shown it is not true, but there is need for further studies in the area.
Because me into public health research, yeah, me was certificates.
You're watching Joy News today. Please stay. There's more.
Welcome back to Business here on Joy News today. My name is Winston Taki, and on to our first business story. The Venture Capital Trust Fund is stepping up its support for local businesses as part of a renewed push to reduce unemployment in Ghana. Speaking at a media briefing on the 20th anniversary impact report, CEO Michael Abbey said the fund is focused on helping promising small and medium-sized enterprises grow, scale, and generate sustainable jobs. He says the trust fund is now targeting new sectors and partnerships to further deepen its impact and align more closely with national development goals.
We've mentioned the possibility, and in some few weeks or months to come, establishing the Ejimera Fund at the trust fund. And the fund is supposed to support Government of Ghana's Ejimera program initiative. And I believe many of you are aware that the Ejimera program is to nurture, grow 10,000 startups annually. At the trust fund level, we are creating this pot to support startups complementing the Ejimera program's effort. Again, and just yesterday, for instance, we had a very good meeting with the 24-hour Economy Secretariat of the Presidency, and we are looking at also establishing the 24-hour Economy SME Equity Fund. And this is also to support businesses that would want to scale, operate 24/7 within the 24-hour Economy program. Of course, we have an ongoing partnership with the Ministry of Communication under the Ghana Digital Acceleration Project, which we are seeking to leverage that and set up the Technology Innovation Fund to support tech startups. So yes, the future is exciting, and there are very interesting programs we shall be unleashing very soon.
In other development, the Republic Bank Ghana and EcoBank Ghana have provided financial support through the National Partnership for Children's Trust to provide scholarships to 15 brilliant but needy children. The gesture will see some of the children complete secondary school and assist the rest go through tertiary education. The following report has more.
At a ceremony to present the scholarship awards to the beneficiaries at the head office of Republic Bank Ghana, the chairman of the Board of Trustees of the National Partnership for Children's Trust, Roland Akosa, said the annual scholarship award is intended to help shape their future.
My expectation is that each one of them will develop their talent to their highest potential. And then, given that skill that they have, they will go out there and first support themselves and their immediate family, and also be a contributor, each one of them, to the community in which they live. That's the whole essence of democracy. So we want them to be effective citizens, enlightened ones, of course, so that you are prepared, because you can go back, as Mr. Larry Addo's example shows, that little scholarship he had many years ago, okay, is the reason why he has made this as part of his life's mission, to support other children he doesn't even know. Mrs. Judith Sawyer, a white American who couldn't have cared if she had chosen, and nobody would have held her accountable, feels it is important to go out to the schools and help us identify kids who have the potential to do well for themselves and for society.
The Chief Operating Officer of Republic Bank, Venice Francis Frith, in his remarks said their partnership was part of the financial institution's corporate social responsibility and quest to support the development of children.
We are especially proud because this partnership is not just about funding, it is about investing in the future of Ghana. These scholarships represent hope, they represent belief in your intelligence, your ambition, and your resilience. Every cedi we commit is a declaration that we see your worth and we believe in your journey. To the scholars here today, you are not defined by your challenges. You are defined by your courage to rise above each and every one of them.
Past beneficiaries who have finished universities and working expressed their profound gratitude to the trust and encourage the student to stay focused, set realistic goals, and work hard at them.
That's all for business here on Joy News today. Up next is sport.
Let's do sports now on JN Today. My name is Haruna Mubarak. Now, Communications and Brands Manager of Nations FC, Kennedy Boachi Ansah, has expressed the club's determination to go all out in pursuit of the 2024-25 Ghana Premier League title. The Abrankesi-based side currently sits 1 point clear at the top of the table, just 3 matches remaining in the season. Now, Nations FC have won 4 of their last 5 games as they push to secure their first ever Premier League crown.
I think that it's been a very beautiful ride for Nations FC this season. Probably we picked up from our performance from last season, where at the end of the league season, Nations FC placed 8th. So in that regard, we needed to augment our squad, brought in some quality players. Hence, the team's placing on the league table as we speak. So if you ask me, I'll say it's been a very beautiful ride, and we are going all out for it. I'm sure before the league started, almost all the 18 clubs' ambitions were to be crowned champions, and that also includes Nations FC. And from the work done so far, there's nothing that is going to stop the club from being crowned as champions of the 2024-2025 Ghana Premier League season. Beyond that, yes, indeed, we are fired up, and indeed we will also augment our squad. We're already in the market looking to augment the team. Whatever we've been able to achieve so far, we also want to improve upon that in the CAF Champions League, which we are aiming at. For the league, we'll take it 1 game at a time. Our immediate assignment is against FC Samates on Sunday at the Takwabiche Sports Complex. We believe that we have the capacity to deliver the 3 points on Sunday to still give us a fair footing on top of the Ghana Premier League table.
And that's your sports on JN Today. My name is Haruna Mubarak.
Welcome back to Joy News today, and thank you for staying with us. I'll bring you this news as well. The Ghana Gold Board has extended the deadline for transitioning to its new gold trading license regime from May 21 to June 21, 2025, while licenses under the defunct PMMC and Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources may continue trading until the new date. Only Gold Board issued license will be valid thereafter. Export rights for old license, however, ceased effective May 2025, and the statement will be on your screen shortly. From the Gold Board says that Gold Board extends deadline for transition to new gold trading license regime. Upon consideration of several petitions from stakeholders, the Ghana Gold Board wishes to inform the general public that the deadline for the transition to the new gold trading license regime has been extended from 21st of May 2025 to 21st June 2025. Consequently, any person who held a license issued by the defunct PMMC and or the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources can continue to purchase and deal in gold with the said license until 21st day of June 2025. It must be emphasized that even though a person may apply for a Gold Board license beyond the new non-extendable deadline of 21st day of June 2025, only holders of a Gold Board license will be allowed to purchase, sell, or deal in gold after this date. The use of a license issued by the defunct PMMC and or the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources to deal in gold is hereby prohibited beyond the new non-extendable deadline of 21st June 2025. A breach of this directive shall constitute a punishable offence under the Ghana Gold Board Act 2025, Act 1140. The deadline extension, notwithstanding, the Gold Board wishes to inform all persons who hold a license to purchase and deal in gold issued by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources that the export function of their license has ceased to be valid effective today, 22nd day of May 2025. Accordingly, no person other than Gold Board is a corporate entity as a corporate entity can export small-scale gold from Ghana effective immediately. That was signed by the Media Relations for the Gold Board. Now, an update as well. A nationwide strike by Senior Staff Association has brought Ghana's university to a standstill, with Senior Staff Association of Ghana, University of Ghana Chapter, Technical University Administrators Association of Ghana, and Federation of University Senior Staff Association of Ghana leading the action. The National Labour Commission has directed the striking workers to go back to work. Let's speak to the president of the Senior Staff Association about this directive. George Ansong joins us as well. So thank you for joining us. The Labour Commission says you should resume work. Will you comply? Can you hear me, Mr. Ansong? We'll try and connect to him again to find out whether they're ready to comply with this directive from the National Labour Commission. You recall that yesterday we engaged him and they said that they had gone through all the processes. They had actually even notified National Labour Commission. The National Labour Commission has actually reacted and says that they should go back to work. But let me try again. Mr. Angson, if you can hear me, are you going to comply to the directive by the National Labour Commission? Unfortunately, I'm able to connect with him. We definitely will bring you that in a subsequent bulletin. But before I wrap, babies depend on their parents for survival. But as they grow, they learn to do things on their own and live independently. Sadly, that's not the case for 10-year-old Sebastina Ma Abena Ando. She's been out of school for the past 5 years as she battles cerebral palsy and scoliosis. Sebastina urgently needs 200,000 Ghana cedis for a first surgery to treat her scoliosis so she can return to the classroom. Joy News' Irama Aqua visited her home and brings us this report.
Every morning, 9-year-old Apna Ando pulls at her school uniform hanging on the door, hoping that today might finally be the day she wears it again. She loves school, but for the past 5 years, the classroom has been just a memory, locked behind the twin walls of cerebral palsy and scoliosis.
So we're told to go for a scan at the Kolebu. So after the scan, she was diagnosed cerebral palsy patient. That was when we got to know her real problem and her conditions. While she was growing, we realized she does sometimes complain of pain. So we realized the back was burning. It's getting scarier because it's growing faster than it used to be, and what we thought it was, now it's getting scarier. We feel very scared the way it's growing faster.
Once an energetic little girl who loved to run and sing, Apna's world has slowly narrowed. Her spine is now severely curved, a condition doctors say could one day affect her lungs, her movement, and even her life.
If you don't do anything about or you don't intervene at this point in time, the curve will just continue to become bigger. And when the curve becomes bigger, most of the curve is in the thoracic region. It's very likely to affect her breathing because it's in the same region that you have the lungs. So if the curve occupies too much of where the lungs are supposed to be, it's going to affect her breathing. And again, if your curve is bending too much, you tend to put pressure on the spinal cord. The spinal cord is what helps you to move, to feel, to control urine and control toilet. If it's if it's compressed so significantly.
Please be kind and be generous to Sebastina. Please donate to help her. Now, I'll take you back to the striking story. Let's speak to President of the Senior Staff Association about how the National Labour Commission is asking that you return back to post. Mr. George Jackson, please confirm to me whether you're going to comply to the Labour Commission's directive.
For me,
if we resume work, it is not because of the National Labour Commission, because for Senior Staff Association, National Labour Commission has not engaged us. It was yesterday I received a letter from them directing us that we should call off the strike. But we are 3 unions that combined to embark on this exercise. But Labour Commission chose to invite 2 and left us. And that is how come we went ahead to declare the strike. But fortunately, the government has honored its obligation. So as I speak with you, we are engaging, I'm engaging the other unions to come out with a statement to call off the strike because government has done its part.
All right, so
that is
the concerns that you raised about working conditions, you're confirming that government has honored that agreement and it'll also be paying the backlog.
They have been letters to that effect.
Okay.
And we believe that it is satisfactory.
And so you're resuming now, today or tomorrow, when?
That is what I said. We are having a discussion.
Okay.
So after the discussion, I think...
Confirm to me again, who are you discussing with? Your members, the other unions?
I said with my members and also with the other sister unions. As I said, we are 3 unions, right?
Okay. I only inquired because you only confirmed that government has honored its part, so I didn't think you needed any confirmation again. But anyway, thank you for joining us this afternoon and bringing us the update. And thank you as well for watching the bulletin. My name is Emefa Akosia Adeti. There's more news if you log on to myjoyonline.com. Marketplace comes up. And right after that at 2 p.m. is Woman Power and Politics with Sweetie Abochi. Don't miss it.